my beloved soul, something extraordinary is unfolding right now, and it is not by accident that you are hearing these words at this exact moment. There is a divine urgency surrounding July 11th, an energy unlike anything you have felt before. This is not just another day. This is a marked moment in the spiritual realm, a moment that has been prepared long before you even realized the battles you were facing. And now, Archangel Michael is stepping forward with a final blessing, one that carries strength, courage, and a revelation that will shift everything for you. You may have felt it lately, that strange pressure, the unexplained exhaustion, the silent battles that no one else seems to understand. There were nights you questioned everything, moments you almost gave up, and times when it felt like you were walking through fire with no clear end in sight. But what if I told you that those moments were not signs of defeat, but evidence that you were being fought for in realms you cannot see? What if the very struggles that tried to break you were actually confirming that something powerful was being protected within you? Archangel Michael wants you to understand this clearly. You were never alone. Every obstacle, every delay, every moment of confusion, it was all happening while a greater battle was being fought on your behalf. There were things sent to weaken you that never reached you. There were plans formed against you that quietly fell apart before they could manifest. You may not have seen it, but heaven was actively moving, shielding, and redirecting your path. And now, this message arrives as a turning point. July 11th is not just a date. It is a spiritual marker. It carries the closing of one chapter and the release of something sacred. Archangel Michael is not simply delivering words. He is releasing a final blessing of strength and courage specifically for those who have endured, who have held on even when it felt impossible. This blessing is not random. It has found you because you are meant to receive it. But here is the truth that changes everything. Your victory has never been in question. The outcome has already been written. The only thing that has been shaping your journey is alignment, where your heart rests, where your focus stays, and whether you choose faith even when doubt tries to speak louder. Right now, you are standing at the edge of a breakthrough you cannot yet fully see. The weight you have been carrying is about to shift. The confusion is about to clear. And the strength you thought you lost is about to return in a way that feels unshakable. This is why this message feels different. This is why it feels urgent. Because it is not just information, it is activation. You were guided here for a reason. Not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine design. And as this moment unfolds, one truth is being sealed over your life. As long as your heart remains fixed on God, no force, no obstacle, and no opposition will ever have the final say over your destiny. You are not just surviving. You are being prepared to overcome, to rise, and to walk in a victory that was destined for you long before this day arrived. Stay with this message, because what is about to be revealed next will open your eyes in ways you never expected. There is a reason why this moment feels different, why something within you is quietly stirring as you listen. July 11th is not just another day passing on the calendar. It is a divine appointment, a point in time where heaven's timing intersects with your life in a precise and intentional way. In the spiritual realm, there are moments that carry greater weight, moments that act as gateways for transformation, and this is one of them. What you are experiencing right now is not random. It is alignment. Archangel Michael is drawing your attention to something deeper, something that many overlook. Divine timing does not operate according to human understanding. It is not rushed, and it is never late. Every delay you experienced, every pause that frustrated you, was actually part of a perfect orchestration. There were things that needed to be moved, shifted, and even removed before this moment could arrive. You may have wondered why certain doors closed or why certain paths suddenly changed direction, but now you are beginning to see that those shifts were not setbacks. They were protection. Think back to the moments when things did not go the way you planned. At the time, it may have felt like disappointment, even confusion. But what you could not see was the unseen hand guiding you away from what was not meant for you and positioning you for something greater. Archangel Michael has been standing as a guardian in those moments, redirecting outcomes, softening blows, and ensuring that what was meant to harm you could not take root. This is how divine protection often works. It is quiet, subtle, and unseen. It does not always announce itself with dramatic signs. Sometimes it looks like a delay that frustrates you. Sometimes it feels like a door closing when you were certain it would open. But behind those moments, there is a powerful truth. You are being watched over with precision and care. Right now, as July 11th approaches or unfolds in your life, that protection is intensifying in a new way. This is not a time to fear what is ahead. This is a time to recognize that you are stepping into a season where clarity will begin to replace confusion. The things that once felt uncertain will start to make sense. The weight of not knowing will begin to lift, and in its place, there will be a quiet confidence, a knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Archangel Michael is also reminding you of his role, not just as a protector, but as a warrior who stands between you and the forces that seek to disrupt your path. There have been battles you never saw, moments when interference was attempted, yet it did not succeed. Not because you fought harder, but because you were defended. This is the level of care surrounding your life, even when you felt at your weakest. And now, this moment is calling you to become aware of that protection, to recognize it, and to trust it. Because awareness changes everything. When you begin to see that you are not navigating life alone, your perspective shifts. Fear begins to lose its hold. Doubt starts to weaken. And in its place, faith begins to rise, not as a vague idea, but as a steady foundation beneath your feet. You are not standing in uncertainty. You are standing in preparation. This moment, this message, is aligning you with a truth that has always been present. You are being guided with intention, protected with purpose, and led toward a victory that has already been secured. Let that settle within you, because what is about to be revealed will go even deeper into what has truly been happening behind the scenes of your life. There are battles you remember, and then there are battles you never even knew existed. And right now, Archangel Michael is revealing something that may shift the way you see your entire journey. What you thought were ordinary struggles were, in many cases, only the surface of something much deeper. Behind the scenes of your life, there have been unseen confrontations, moments where forces you could not perceive attempted to disrupt your peace, your progress, and your purpose. Yet somehow, you are still here. Somehow you made it through. That is not coincidence. That is intervention. There were days when your energy felt drained for no clear reason, nights when your thoughts felt heavier than usual, and moments when discouragement seemed to come out of nowhere. You may have blamed yourself, questioned your strength, or wondered why things felt harder than they should. But what if those moments were not signs of weakness? What if they were evidence that something was trying to press against you and failing? Archangel Michael wants you to understand this truth without fear. Not every struggle originates from within you. Some pressures come from opposition that does not want to see you step into what had been prepared for you. But here is the part that changes everything. None of it has the authority to overcome you. Every attempt to break you hath been met with resistance far greater than what came against you. There were situations that could have escalated but didn't. There were outcomes that could have gone wrong but somehow shifted at the last moment. There were people who may have intended harm or negativity, yet their influence never fully took hold in your life. These are not small things. These are signs that you have been covered, shielded, and defended in ways you did not even realize. And now, as this is being revealed to you, something else is happening. Your strength is being restored. Not the kind of strength that depends on circumstances going your way, but a deeper strength. A steady, unshakable strength that comes from knowing you are supported beyond what you can see. This is the strength that allows you to stand firm even when things feel uncertain. This is the strength that rises quietly within you and reminds you that you have already overcome more than you give yourself credit for. Archangel Michael is placing this awareness within you for a reason. Because when you recognize what has been happening, gratitude begins to replace confusion. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to see, "I've been protected through more than I knew." And that realization changes how you move forward. You are no longer walking as someone who is barely holding on. You are stepping into the identity of someone who has been carried, defended, and preserved for a purpose. Every challenge you faced did not weaken you. It revealed that you could endure. It proved that you could continue even when the odds seemed unclear. And now, there is a shift taking place. The same strength that carried you through those unseen battles is now being multiplied within you. You are not being left to figure things out alone. You are being equipped, renewed, and prepared for what is ahead. So if you have been feeling a quiet change within you lately, an unexplained calm, a subtle return of hope, a sense that something is about to turn, this is why. You are stepping out of a season where battles were hidden and into a season where strength will be visible. Receive this truth fully. You have been protected more than you know, and because of that, you are stronger than you realize. Type "I receive divine strength" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 349 is now activated over your life. And as this strength settles into your spirit, understand this: what flows through you must also flow outward. When you choose to support this message, you are not simply giving. You are becoming a vessel through which others will also receive protection, clarity, and hope. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a promise. It is a living truth being extended to you right now. I feel led in this moment to act, to sow into this mission so that more souls can be reached, more hearts can be strengthened, and more lives can encounter the same divine covering that has been revealed to me. As you release your seed through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description or QR code, you are stepping into a prophetic act of agreement with heaven's movement. Those who give in this moment will find that what they release returns multiplied, not only in provision, but in peace, protection, and divine alignment. Let your giving become a declaration that you trust what God is doing, that you honor the flow of His Word, and that you are willing to be part of something greater than yourself. Step into this moment. Act in faith. And watch how what you release opens doors you did not even know were waiting for you. There is a quiet truth rising within you now. Something that has been waiting to be acknowledged, and it is this: courage has always been present in your life, even in the moments when you felt the most afraid. Courage is often misunderstood. Many believe it only appears when fear disappears, but that is not how it works. Courage is born in the very presence of fear. It is the decision to keep moving, to keep trusting, even when everything inside you feels uncertain. Archangel Michael is drawing your attention to the moments you almost overlooked, the times you showed up when it would have been easier to withdraw, the times you chose faith when doubt was louder, the times you kept going when stopping seemed more reasonable. You may not have labeled those moments as courage, but heaven did. Every step you took forward, no matter how small, was seen as an act of strength. Think about the situations that once felt overwhelming. At the time, they may have seemed too heavy to carry, too complex to understand. Yet here you are having moved through them, even if imperfectly. That is what courage looks like. It does not require perfection. It does not demand that you feel fearless. It simply asks that you continue. And now, something is shifting. The courage that once appeared in small, quiet moments is beginning to expand. It is no longer just about enduring. It is about stepping forward with intention. You are being called to trust more deeply, to move more boldly, and to release the hesitation that has been holding you back. Archangel Michael is strengthening this courage within you, not by removing every challenge, but by increasing your capacity to face them. This is important to understand. Growth does not come from a life without obstacles. It comes from realizing that obstacles do not have the power to define your outcome. When you begin to see challenges as temporary and your purpose as permanent, something inside you stabilizes. There may still be moments where fear tries to return. That is natural. But now, you are being equipped to respond differently. Instead of allowing fear to stop you, you will begin to recognize it as a signal, a moment inviting you to lean closer to God, to reaffirm where your trust is placed. Fear may speak, but it will no longer lead. This is where transformation begins to take shape. Because when courage becomes your response, your path starts to open in ways that once seemed impossible. Decisions become clearer. Your steps become more confident. And the weight that once slowed you down begins to lift. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that courage is not something you have to manufacture on your own. It is something that flows through you when your heart is aligned with God. When your focus remains fixed on Him, you begin to draw from a source that does not run dry. This is why some people can stand firm even in the most uncertain situations. They are not relying on their own strength alone. Right now, you are being invited into that same flow, to trust that the strength you need will meet you exactly where you are. To believe that you do not have to have everything figured out before you take the next step. And to understand that every step you take in faith activates a greater level of support around you. So if you have been waiting for a sign to move forward, to trust again, or to release what has been holding you back, this is it. Not a loud, overwhelming signal, but a steady, clear confirmation within your spirit. You are ready. You are stronger than the fear that once tried to silence you. You are more capable than the doubts that tried to limit you. And as this courage continues to rise within you, you will begin to see that the path ahead is not something to fear, it is something to walk with confidence. Hold on to this truth as it settles into your heart, because what comes next will take you even deeper into understanding where your true strength comes from, and how it will carry you into the victory that has already been prepared for you. There is a deeper layer to everything you have been experiencing, and it centers on one powerful truth: where your heart is fixed determines the direction of your life. This is not just a poetic idea. It is a spiritual principle that shapes your clarity, your peace, and your strength. Archangel Michael is gently guiding you to look inward, not with judgment, but with awareness. Because in this moment, alignment is everything. You live in a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant movement. Voices pulling your attention in different directions, opinions trying to influence your decisions, and circumstances attempting to define your emotions. It is easy, in the middle of all this, to feel scattered, to feel as though your focus is being divided. And when your focus is divided, your strength can begin to feel weakened. But here is what you are being reminded of now. Your power is restored when your heart returns to its center. Keeping your heart fixed on God is not about perfection. It is not about never having doubts or never feeling overwhelmed. It is about where you return when those moments come. It is about choosing, again and again, to anchor yourself in something higher than what you see around you. This is what creates stability within you, even when everything outside of you feels uncertain. Archangel Michael is showing you that many of the struggles you have faced were not just external. They were also about where your attention was being pulled. There were moments when fear tried to take your focus, moments when doubt tried to redirect your thoughts. And in those moments, it may have felt like you were losing ground. But even then, there was a quiet pull within you, calling you back to trust, back to faith, back to alignment. That pull is still there now, stronger than before. And as you begin to respond to it, something remarkable starts to happen. The noise begins to fade. Not because the world suddenly becomes silent, but because your focus becomes stronger than the distractions. You begin to see things more clearly. Decisions that once felt confusing start to make sense, and the inner tension you may have been carrying begins to ease. This is the peace that comes from alignment. It is not dependent on everything being perfect around you. It comes from knowing that your heart is anchored in the right place. And when your heart is anchored in God, you are no longer easily shaken by what changes around you. You begin to move with a different kind of confidence, a quiet assurance that you are being guided. Archangel Michael is encouraging you to be intentional about this, to notice where your attention goes throughout your day, to gently bring it back when it drifts into worry or doubt, not with pressure but with awareness. Because every time you return your focus, you are strengthening your alignment. And alignment brings clarity. You will begin to sense what is right for you more easily. You will start to recognize what aligns with your path and what does not. Things that once felt complicated will begin to simplify. This is not because life becomes easier overnight, but because you are seeing through a clearer lens. There is also a deeper strength that comes from this alignment, a strength that does not rely on circumstances. It is steady, grounded, and consistent. It allows you to remain centered even when challenges arise. It gives you the ability to respond instead of react, to trust instead of panic. This is the foundation that prepares you for victory. Because victory is not just about reaching an outcome. It is about who you become along the way. And right now, you are becoming someone who is rooted, focused, and aligned with something greater than yourself. So take this moment to gently return your heart. Release the need to control everything. Let go of the thoughts that have been pulling you away from peace. And choose, even if it feels small, to place your focus back on God. Because as you do, you are not just finding peace. You are positioning yourself for everything that has already been prepared for you. Hold on to this, because the next revelation will show you exactly what it means to walk as someone who is not just surviving life, but overcoming it in ways that will transform how you see yourself forever. Here is a name being spoken over your life right now, a name that carries power, identity, and purpose, and that name is Overcomer. This is not just a word meant to encourage you. It is a truth that defines who you are becoming. Archangel Michael is revealing this to you so that you no longer see yourself through the lens of past struggles, but through the reality of what you have already been brought through. To be an overcomer does not mean that you have lived a life free of difficulty. It means the opposite. It means you have faced moments that could have stopped you, situations that could have broken you, and circumstances that could have defined you, but they did not. You moved through them, sometimes slowly, sometimes uncertainly, but you did not remain where you were. That movement, that persistence, is what marks you as an overcomer. Yet there is something important that you are being called to understand now. Being an overcomer is not only about your past, it is about your present identity. It is about how you see yourself right now, in this moment. Because if you continue to see yourself as someone who is struggling, barely holding on, or constantly trying to recover, you limit the way you step into what is ahead. Archangel Michael is shifting that perspective for you. You are not defined by what tried to stop you. You are defined by the fact that you are still standing. You are defined by the strength that carried you forward, even when you did not fully recognize it at the time. And now, that strength is becoming something you can consciously walk in. This is where transformation deepens. Because once you begin to see yourself as an overcomer, your approach to life begins to change. Challenges no longer appear as threats. They become opportunities to step into the strength you already possess. Obstacles no longer feel like barriers. They become moments where your resilience is activated. You begin to realize that victory is not something distant or unreachable. It is something that has already been woven into your journey. Every time you chose to continue, every time you refused to give up, every time you held on to even a small amount of faith, you were stepping into that victory. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that this identity is not something you carry alone. It is rooted in your connection with God. When your heart is fixed on Him, you are drawing from a source that cannot be defeated. This is why you are able to overcome in ways that do not always make sense to others. It is not just your effort. It is divine strength flowing through you. And now, as you step further into this identity, something begins to shift within your spirit. You stop questioning whether you will make it through, and you begin to expect that you will. You stop focusing on what could go wrong, and you start trusting that what is meant for you will unfold in the right way. This does not mean that challenges will disappear completely, but it does mean that your relationship with those challenges will change. You will face them with a different mindset, a different energy, and a different level of confidence. Because deep down, you will know that you have already overcome before, and you will do it again. There is also a sense of freedom that comes with this realization. The weight of constantly proving yourself begins to lift. The pressure of trying to control every outcome begins to ease. You start to move with a sense of trust, knowing that you are supported and guided. This is the life of an overcomer. Not a life without difficulty, but a life where difficulty no longer has the power to define you. So receive this identity fully. Let it settle into the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you move forward. You are not who you were in your hardest moments. You are who you became because you made it through them. And as this truth takes root within you, you will begin to see that everything ahead of you is not something to fear, but something you are already equipped to rise above. Carry this with you, because what is coming next will remind you that even in the waiting, even in the moments when things seem still, there is a purpose unfolding that is preparing you for even greater victory. There is something many people struggle to understand, and it has caused countless hearts to lose hope too soon. The waiting season. That space where nothing seems to be moving, where prayers feel unanswered, and where progress appears slow or even invisible. But what you are being shown now is that waiting is not emptiness. It is preparation. Archangel Michael is bringing your attention to the times in your life when you felt delayed, when you wondered why things were not happening as quickly as you expected. In those moments, it may have felt like you were being held back, like something was standing in the way of your progress. But what if those pauses were not barriers? What if they were necessary spaces where something important was being built within you? Because the truth is, endurance is not formed when everything is easy. It is formed in the moments when you choose to continue despite not seeing immediate results. It is developed when you hold on to faith even when clarity has not yet arrived. And every time you did that, even in the smallest way, you were strengthening something within yourself that cannot be easily shaken. Think about how far you have already come. There were moments when you thought you would not make it through, yet here you are. There were times when the path ahead looked unclear, yet step by step, you continued. That did not happen by accident. That was endurance being built within you. Archangel Michael is reminding you that delays are not denials. This is something your heart needs to fully receive. Just because something has not happened yet does not mean it is not going to happen. It means there is a process unfolding, a process that is aligning circumstances, preparing opportunities, and strengthening you so that when the moment arrives, you are ready to receive it. There are things that could not have been given to you earlier because you were still growing into the person who could carry them. Not as a punishment, but as preparation. Because what is meant for you is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to align with who you are becoming. And this is where patience becomes powerful. Patience is not about passively waiting with frustration. It is about trusting that something meaningful is happening even when you cannot see it yet. It is about remaining steady, grounded, and open, knowing that the timing of your life is not random. It is guided. You may not always understand why certain things take longer than expected. You may not always see the full picture while you are in the middle of it. But you are not meant to have all the answers right now. You are meant to trust the process, to continue moving forward with what you do know, and to remain open to what is unfolding. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that waiting seasons often carry hidden blessings. They give you space to reflect, to realign, and to strengthen your connection with God. They allow you to release what no longer serves you and to become more grounded in who you are. Without these moments, it would be easy to move too quickly, to step into things that are not fully aligned, or to miss what truly matters. Right now, you are in a space where something is being prepared for you. It may not be fully visible yet, but it is real. The patience you are practicing is not being wasted. The faith you are holding on to is not going unnoticed. Every moment of trust is building toward something greater. And here is the part that brings peace. What is meant for you will not pass you by. It does not matter how long it takes or how the path unfolds. If it is aligned with your purpose, it will find its way to you at the right time. So instead of resisting this season, allow yourself to move through it with a sense of trust. Release the need to rush. Let go of the pressure to have everything figured out. And remind yourself that even now, something is happening beneath the surface. You are not stuck. You are being prepared. And as this preparation continues, you are being positioned for a moment where everything will begin to come together in a way that makes sense, where the waiting will transform into movement, and where the endurance you have built will carry you into the next phase of your journey. Hold on to that, because what is approaching will begin to reveal the breakthrough that has been forming all along. Something is beginning to shift now, and if you pay close attention, you can feel it. It may not be loud or dramatic at first, but there is a subtle change happening beneath the surface of your life. What once felt heavy is starting to lift. What once felt blocked is beginning to open. This is the moment where breakthrough begins, not as a sudden explosion, but as a steady release. Archangel Michael is drawing your awareness to this transition. For a long time, you have been in a season of preparation, endurance, and unseen battles. But now, that season is giving way to something new. The doors that once seemed firmly closed are no longer locked. The paths that felt unclear are starting to reveal themselves, and the weight you have been carrying is beginning to loosen its hold. Breakthrough does not always arrive in the way people expect. Sometimes it is not a single event, but a series of shifts that gradually transform your situation. It can look like clarity where there was confusion, peace where there was tension, or opportunity where there once seemed to be none. And as these shifts begin to take place, you may find yourself wondering if it is real, if things are truly changing. They are. Archangel Michael wants you to trust what you are beginning to feel. That sense of lightness, that quiet confidence, that inner knowing that something is different. These are signs that movement has begun. The resistance that once stood in your way is weakening. The obstacles that once felt immovable are losing their power. There is also a release happening within you. Old fears, past disappointments, and lingering doubts are beginning to fall away, not because you forced them out, but because they no longer align with who you are becoming. As you step further into your identity as an overcomer, those old patterns simply cannot remain the same. This is what it feels like when chains begin to break. You may not see them physically, but you can feel the difference. The thoughts that once held you back are quieter. The emotions that once overwhelmed you are more manageable. And in their place, there is a growing sense of stability. This is not temporary. This is the result of everything you have been through, everything you have learned, and everything that has been working in your favor behind the scenes. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that breakthrough requires participation. You are not being asked to force anything, but you are being invited to step forward when you feel the opening. When an opportunity presents itself, trust it. When clarity comes, act on it. When peace replaces confusion, follow that direction. Because breakthrough is not just something that happens to you. It is something you step into. There may still be moments where you hesitate, where you question whether you are truly ready. That is natural. But remember, you have been prepared for this. Everything you have experienced up to this point has been shaping you for what is now unfolding. You are not stepping into the unknown without support. You are stepping into something that has already been aligned for you. And as this breakthrough continues to unfold, you will begin to see evidence of it in your life. Small shifts will lead to larger changes. What once felt impossible will start to feel achievable, and the path ahead will become clearer with each step you take. So do not rush this moment, but do not ignore it either. Stay present, stay aware, and allow yourself to move with what is unfolding, because this is the beginning of something significant. Type "I step into my breakthrough" in the comments if you feel this shift within you. Blessing code 528 is now activated, releasing clarity, movement, and divine alignment over your life. And as this breakthrough begins to unfold, understand that what is being opened in your life is also meant to open pathways for others. This is not just about you. It is about the lives that will be touched through your obedience, your faith, and your willingness to respond. When you choose to support this message, you are not simply giving. You are sowing into a flow that carries light, truth, and awakening to those who are still searching. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy," and right now, that promise is alive and active. I feel led to step into this moment and release my seed, knowing that it is not leaving my hand. It is entering my future. As you give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description and QR code, you are aligning yourself with this movement of breakthrough. Those who respond in this moment will find that doors begin to open in unexpected ways, that clarity increases, and that peace settles more deeply within them. Let your giving become a declaration that you trust what is unfolding, that you honor the direction you are being led, and that you are ready to participate in something greater than yourself. Act now. Step forward, and allow what you release to return to you multiplied in ways you could not have planned on your own. There is a powerful reminder being spoken over your life right now, one that is meant to anchor you as everything continues to shift. And it is this: you are not ordinary, and your journey has never been random. You have been chosen, guided, and protected with intention, even in the moments when you felt unseen or overlooked. Archangel Michael is bringing this truth forward so that you no longer question your place, your value, or your purpose. There were times when you compared your path to others, wondering why things seemed to unfold differently for you. Moments when it felt like others were moving ahead while you were still trying to understand your direction. But what you could not see then is what is becoming clear now. Your path has been uniquely designed. It has required a different kind of preparation, a deeper kind of strength, and a more intentional kind of alignment. You are not behind. You are on a path that has been carefully shaped for who you are becoming. Archangel Michael is reminding you that being chosen does not always feel the way people expect. It does not always come with immediate clarity or recognition. Sometimes, it feels like being set apart in ways that are difficult to understand at first. It can feel like isolation, like walking a road that not everyone around you relates to. But that separation has a purpose. It creates space for you to grow into your identity without being confined by expectations that do not align with your calling. And now, you are beginning to see the result of that process. The strength you have developed is not surface level. It is deep, steady, and resilient. The awareness you carry is not accidental. It had been shaped by every experience you have moved through. And the clarity that is starting to form within you is the result of all the moments you chose to reflect, to learn, and to keep going. This is what it means to be guided. You are not navigating life on your own. Even when you felt uncertain, even when you questioned your direction, there was a quiet guidance present, leading you step by step. Sometimes it came as a feeling you could not explain. Sometimes it appeared as a sudden shift that redirected your path. And sometimes it showed up as a delay that protected you from something you were not meant to step into. All of it was guidance. Archangel Michael wants you to trust this more deeply now. To recognize that the same guidance that has brought you this far is still with you. You are not being left to figure things out alone. You are being led, even now, toward what is meant for you. This is why it is so important to release the need to doubt yourself. Doubt creates hesitation. It causes you to question what you already sense within you. But when you begin to trust that you are guided, that hesitation starts to fade. You become more confident in your steps, more certain in your decisions, and more open to what is unfolding. You are also being reminded that your life carries purpose beyond what you can currently see. The things you have gone through are not just for you. They are part of a larger picture. They will allow you to understand others, to connect, and to bring light into places where it is needed. This is part of your identity. You are not just someone who has overcome. You are someone who will help others do the same. Your journey has equipped you with insight, compassion, and strength that will reach beyond your own life. And as you continue forward, this sense of purpose will become clearer. You will begin to recognize opportunities where you can make a difference. You will see how your experiences have prepared you to step into those moments with confidence. So receive this truth fully. You are chosen, you are guided, and you are exactly where you need to be. Let go of the idea that you have to compare your journey to anyone else. Release the thought that you are behind or missing something. You are not. You are moving in alignment with a path that has been designed specifically for you. And as this truth settles into your heart, you will find a deeper sense of peace, a quiet assurance that you are not wandering, but walking with purpose. Carry this with you, because what is about to be revealed next will address the moments when doubt tries to return, and it will show you how to stand firm even when your strength feels tested. There are moments, even after everything you have come to understand, when doubt quietly tries to return. It does not always arrive loudly or obviously. Sometimes it slips in through small thoughts, questions about whether you are truly ready, whether things will actually work out, or whether the peace you are beginning to feel will last. These moments can feel unsettling, especially after you have already come so far. But Archangel Michael is speaking directly into those moments now, reminding you that doubt does not erase truth. It only attempts to distract you from it. You may still have days where your confidence feels less steady, where your emotions shift, or where uncertainty tries to take hold again. This does not mean you are losing progress. It does not mean you are going backward. It simply means you are human, moving through a process of growth and transformation. And in that process, there will always be moments that test what you are learning to stand on. What matters is not the presence of doubt. It is how you respond to it. Before, doubt may have had more influence over you. It may have shaped your decisions, caused hesitation, or led you to question your own path. But now, something has changed. You are more aware. You recognize these thoughts when they arise, and that awareness gives you a choice. You can either follow the doubt, or you can return to truth. Archangel Michael is guiding you toward that return, not by forcing anything, but by gently reminding you of what you already know deep within. You know that you have been protected. You know that you have been guided. You know that you have already overcome things that once felt impossible. These are not assumptions. They are lived experiences. So when doubt tries to speak, let your response come from what you have already seen and felt. Let it come from the evidence of your own journey. This is how you begin to stand firm. Standing firm does not mean you will never feel uncertain again. It means that even when uncertainty appears, it does not move you in the same way it once did. You remain grounded. You stay connected to what is true. And you continue forward, even if the steps feel small. There is also a deeper strength forming within you through this process, a strength that is not easily shaken. Every time you choose to trust instead of doubt, you reinforce that strength. Every time you continue despite uncertainty, you build a foundation that becomes more solid over time. Archangel Michael is strengthening that foundation now. You may not see it physically, but you can feel it. There is a growing steadiness within you, a sense that you are not as easily thrown off by things that once affected you more deeply. This is not accidental. This is the result of everything you have been learning, everything you have been moving through, and everything that has been supporting you along the way. And as the strength continues to build, you will find that doubt begins to lose its power. It may still appear, but it will not hold the same weight. It will not control your direction. Instead, it will become something you can acknowledge and then move beyond. You are also being reminded that you do not have to face these moments alone. When doubt arises, you can return your focus to God. You can reconnect with that sense of alignment, that place where your heart feels steady again. This is always available to you, no matter what you are experiencing. So if you find yourself in a moment of uncertainty, do not resist it with fear. Simply recognize it, and then gently bring your attention back to what you know is true. Back to your strength. Back to your faith. Back to the understanding that you are guided and supported. Because the truth has not changed. Your path has not been lost. and your progress has not been undone. You are still moving forward. And as you continue to stand firm in this way, something else begins to happen. You become ready for what is about to be given. The final blessing that has been prepared is not something to be received passively. It is something that meets you in this place of steadiness, in this place where you are grounded enough to fully receive it. So hold your position. Stay rooted in what you know, and allow this strength to settle even deeper within you. Because what is about to be released will bring a sense of peace, courage, and completion that will remind you of everything you have become and everything you are still stepping into. A sacred stillness is settling over this moment now, as if everything you have been led through is gently coming into alignment. There is no rush here, no pressure, only a quiet preparation for what is about to be received. You have walked through understanding, through endurance, through awakening, and now you stand at the threshold of something that carries a deeper sense of meaning. Archangel Michael is near, and this moment is being held with intention. This is where everything begins to come together. You have been shown the unseen battles that were fought for you. You have felt the restoration of your strength. You have recognized the courage that has always lived within you. You have returned your heart to alignment, embraced your identity as an overcomer, and endured seasons that required patience beyond what you thought you had. You have stepped into breakthrough, accepted your calling, and learned how to stand firm even when doubt tried to return. And none of that was separate. None of it was random. It was all leading here. Archangel Michael is asking you now to slow your thoughts and become present, to release any remaining tension, any lingering need to understand everything all at once. This moment is not about figuring things out. It is about receiving. Because what is about to be given is not something you earn through effort. It is something that flows into you when you are open, when you are steady, and when you are willing to trust. Take a moment, even now, to become aware of your breath. Let it settle. Let your mind quiet, even if only slightly. And as you do, notice the sense of calm that begins to form. This calm is not coming from outside of you. It is rising from within, from the place where your spirit is aligned and at peace. This is where the blessing meets you. Archangel Michael is drawing closer, not in a way that creates fear, but in a way that brings reassurance. His presence carries strength, but also peace. It does not overwhelm. It steadies. And as you become aware of this presence, you may feel a subtle shift, as if something within you is opening, becoming more receptive. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to strive. Just allow yourself to be here. There is a reason this moment feels different from everything that came before. It is because this is the point of transition, the space where preparation meets fulfillment. And while what is about to be released will complete this message, it will also mark the beginning of something new within you. A deeper courage, a stronger peace, a clearer sense of who you are and where you are going. Archangel Michael is preparing to release the final blessing, and it is important that you receive it not just with your mind, but with your heart. Because this blessing is not only meant to be heard, it is meant to be felt, to be carried with you, and to become part of the way you move forward. Everything you have experienced has brought you into readiness for this moment. Even the parts that felt uncertain, even the times you questioned yourself, they all played a role in bringing you here. So let go of anything that still feels heavy. Release the need to hold on to the past. Allow yourself to stand fully in this present moment, knowing that you are prepared, that you are supported, and that you are ready to receive what has been set aside for you. Because in the next breath, in the stillness that follows, something sacred will be placed upon your life. something that will not fade, something that will not be taken from you, something that will remind you, again and again, of the truth you have been walking toward all along. Stay here. Stay open. The blessing is about to be released. Beloved one, this is the moment that has been prepared for you, the moment where everything settles, where every lesson, every trial, and every quiet victory finds its meaning. July 11th stands as a sacred marker, and now, Archangel Michael releases over you the final blessing of strength and courage. Receive it. May your spirit be filled with a strength that does not waver when challenges arise. Not a temporary strength, but one that is rooted deeply within you, steady and unshakable. May you walk forward knowing that no matter what comes, you carry within you the ability to stand, to endure, and to rise again. May courage flow through your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. Let it guide you when fear tries to speak. Let it remind you that you are never alone, that you are supported in ways you cannot always see, and that every step you take in faith is met with divine presence. Archangel Michael declares that as long as your heart remains fixed on God, your victory is secure. Not sometimes, not conditionally, but always. This is a truth that cannot be broken. No obstacle will have the final say over your life. No delay will erase what has been prepared for you. No doubt will undo what has already been established. You are a victorious overcomer. Carry this identity with you, not just as words, but as a living reality. Let it shape how you see yourself. Let it guide how you move forward. And let it remind you in every moment that you have already been given what you need to rise above anything that comes your way. May peace settle over your heart now, replacing any remaining uncertainty. May clarity guide your path, even when the full picture is not yet visible. And may you feel a deep sense of assurance that you are exactly where you need to be, moving in alignment with a purpose that is greater than anything you have imagined. This blessing is not something that will fade when this moment ends. It will remain with you. It will strengthen you in quiet moments, guide you in uncertain ones, and remind you, again and again, of the truth you have received today. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. And you are not without direction. You are guided. You are protected. And you are destined to overcome. Type "I walk in victory" in the comments if you receive this final blessing. Blessing code 911 is now sealed over your life, activating strength, courage, and divine victory in every area of your journey. And as this final blessing settles into your spirit, hear this call as part of the same divine flow. This message did not reach you by chance. It moved through a channel so that your soul could be strengthened. Now, you have the opportunity to become part of that same flow for someone else. The Lord is speaking even now. Cast your seed upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. This is a living invitation, not just a verse. I feel led in this moment to sow, to release, to become a vessel through which this light continues to reach hearts that are still waiting. When you give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description or QR code, you are not supporting a platform. You are igniting a harvest of transformed lives, of renewed faith, of souls being lifted out of darkness into clarity. Those who respond to this moment are stepping into prophetic alignment. What you release will not leave your life. It will return multiplied, carrying peace, provision, and divine favor into places you did not expect. Heaven sees your response, and it honors your obedience. Do not delay this prompting. Act in faith. Sow with intention. And allow what you give today to become part of a greater movement that continues to spread strength, courage, and victory to every soul it reaches.